Hello, I am Tanya, and in this video I'm going to cover the 5 things I quit when I turned 50. If this is a topic that is of interest, please stick around. So the first thing that I stopped doing when I turned 50 was people pleasing. Now the extent and the degree to which I stopped has increased. I'm 52 years old now, and in the 2 years since I turned 50, it's probably become more noticeable because I've introduced healthy boundaries and I've stopped any unhealthy codependency traits that I may have demonstrated in my previous relationships. So by prioritizing me and putting me as the focus rather than saying yes when deep down I really wanted to say no, it's given me a healthier and more fulfilling relationship with myself, because now I can actually do the things that I enjoy doing rather than feeling guilt or shame for not overgiving and being there for everyone else when I personally wasn't taking care of myself. So people pleasing definitely has sort of reduced in a big way. In certain situations, I will still help and encourage and empower other people. So it's not I'm not interacting with people and I am not being helpful and I am not being kind and compassionate, but I am not putting them on top of the pedestal. I'm the one that's on the top of the pedestal now. The second thing I quit was the rat race. I have been working since the age of 17, so by the time I turned 50, that was a whopping 33 years, and I decided that it was time to actually take some time out and heal myself, because I was in a lot of pain and discomfort at that point, having burnt out for the second time through my corporate job. And I wanted to take some time to figure out what was going to bring joy and contentment in my life. And in doing so, I was able to heal myself and go on a self-discovery journey of training to become a hypnotherapist and a coach through the Rapid Transformational Therapy School. And in doing so, I decided that I'm going to pivot my career. I'm not going to go back working for a large corporate organization where, even though I was the expert and I would be the consultant coming in from a finance perspective, I was still having to jump through all the hoops and fulfill other people's agendas and politics, and that was not something that was bringing me fulfillment and joy. So I decided I'm burning my bridges, I am burning the boats, I am actually taking the island and pivoting my career, and it's the best decision that I've made. Now I do acknowledge I'm in a very privileged position that I did qualify as an accountant and I had a very lucrative career for a large portion of my working life, and as a result I was able to save because I had that mental, I know one day I'm going to want to retire, I'm not going to want to work, so therefore I'm going to put money aside. So I was in a financial position to enable me to do that. But at the same time, I was savvy enough. I worked hard, I earned the money, and then I saved the money to enable me to be able to take a couple of years out, and in that couple of years decide to launch my online business. And I'm absolutely loving it because I'm living life on my terms now rather than the corporate kind of world. And the third thing that I quit was being hard on myself. I was extremely self-critical, judgmental, and extremely unkind. And I did a self-esteem 6-day challenge, and through that I shared that I was actually so in a negative spiral. Externally, I projected, yes, we can achieve things, we can be positive, we can be encouraging, and we can get things done because I was a high achiever. But internally, I was in constant battle with myself, and that unkindness and me not taking care of my mental, emotional and physical needs meant that, yeah, I burnt out for the second time when I turned like just before my 51st birthday. So it was time for me to really prioritize me. And now I have got the healthiest relationship I have ever had with myself, where, as I said in the first thing, no longer people pleasing, I'm top of the pedestal, I'm taking care of me, and I'm being kind and compassionate to myself on a daily basis, and sometimes multiple times during the day. Because emotions come and go, they are waves, and we need to ride those waves of emotions rather than suppressing them or rather than trying to avoid them. It's leaning into them and figuring out what are these emotions trying to tell me, what is not being met here. And then it's my responsibility to actually meet my needs. I don't need external validation for that, I just need to go inwards. And the way that I've been able to do that is by the fourth thing that I quit, is I have reduced my social interactions. When I was in the corporate job, I was actually on back-to-back Teams calls. I was either or in the office, and you're constantly interacting with people. Then in the evenings, I would be on social media and interacting with friends and family. And I just felt that I was constantly on. I was not able to just slow things down and be present. I was constantly sort of like almost chasing my tail. And there is this saying that you are the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. And a lot of the people, because they were like under extreme pressure, and because of their kind of skills and their personal development, self-development, and their kind of narrative that was sort of like going through in their head, they were not necessarily the most positive people to be around. As a result, me trying to be positive, I was always like going the extreme opposite. So I was being way the big cheerleader, constantly positive and trying to sort of cheer and lift the mood for everyone else around me, which really exhausts you. And I've come to realize that deep down I really am an introvert, because I enjoy spending time on my own. I enjoy thinking, processing my thoughts, and then now processing my feelings rather than avoiding them or suppressing them. And in so doing, learning to figure out what are my coping strategies, what can I do to sort of like increase the joy and contentment in my life. And those social interactions were actually becoming a drain. So I decided to sort of like cut a lot of them out, and as a result, what I then did is I increased the amount of positive influences in my life. So Marissa Peer, who is my mentor trainer as part of the Rapid Transformational Therapy School, I watch a lot of her content. I participate in master classes and demos that she shares with her students and graduates. I'm sort of watching a lot of Mel Robbins content, the high five, the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, all those kind of motivational snippets that she actually shares. And watching a lot of Stephen Bartlett's Diary of the CEO content, which you're getting access to experts from every field, and you're learning, you're growing, you're finding new ways of, you're maybe rethinking some of your previous beliefs or the way that you sort of like approached certain subjects. You get a little bit more information, it sparks your curiosity, you might do a little bit more research. And another person that I've been following avidly for probably the past 4 years has been Peter Crone, the mind architect. And he's got a lot of content now on YouTube and on other kind of social media platforms as well. But it's refreshing to see his approach to language, the things that we actually say and we're not even aware that we're actually saying it. And if we're saying it, then we're actually thinking it. So it's just making you more aware of the kind of language that we're actually using and the thought patterns that we have, which is absolutely brilliant. And I've mentioned Jamie Kern Lima previously in her book Worthy as part of that self-esteem challenge that I actually actually did, because she's got a beautiful heart, and she is so giving and loving towards everyone, and she's got a podcast and she's got some fantastic interviews through that, sharing that kind of movement of we are all worthy at our core. We're perfect little babies that have just grown into adults, and it's about getting rid of all the kind of false lies that we've been saying to ourselves and the beliefs that have been ingrained and kept us stuck and potentially in that negative kind of spiral. And in doing that, kind of reducing the social interaction with people that may have not been as positive, encouraging and empowering, and replacing them with people virtually and through courses and materials and books, but getting that kind of boost of positivity, empowerment, encouragement has definitely shifted my focus. And the fifth thing I quit turning 50 was I changed my focus from being very future paced, because I was running as fast as I could from my past. I didn't want to go there. I didn't want to look at what had happened. It was like always the future, forward, forward. And what I've actually found is that by slowing things down and by coming out of the rat race, by spending time going inwards and doing the deep inner work that wasn't the most comfortable at times. It is tough, it is hard, but anything worth real value is worth putting in the effort for. And I gained the biggest kind of takeaway, not just being kind and compassionate and loving towards myself, but being present is the gift. Like the word itself says it all, present. It is a gift for us to be in the here and now, not chasing a future, because that is a human construct, future, past. The present is where it's all at. And by slowing things down and being present and being aware, then you can actually enjoy the little things, because life is made of so many little things. So rather than chasing the big goal that you might get 5 minutes of joy and satisfaction, enjoy every little thing that you're doing, every interaction that you're having. And by doing so, even the relationships that you cultivate are more fulfilling, more enriching, more enjoyable. So that is the 5 things that I quit when I turned 50. And it's the best things that I've actually done. Have you quit something? Irrespective of what your age may be. Have you quit something in the past, maybe 6 months, a year? If you want to share, add to the comments below. It'd be lovely to hear from you. And if you haven't quit, is there something that you would want to quit? Put it down in the comments. So if this is content that is of value, if you found it interesting, if you vibe with my vibe, then please like and subscribe. And remember, we have got choices in life, so choose wisely and go out and seize the day. Have the most amazing day. So until the next one, bye.